Hey everybody, this is Tim Keefe with Transform CX. Happy Sunday, first Sunday in December 2023. God, the year has just flown by. I'm here by myself today, and unfortunately Andreas is off onto a cruise in the Caribbean, and he and his family will be having a blast. But in the meantime, I wanted to chat a little bit about an article in Inc. magazine that came out this last week about looking at work from home and return to office programs, but not so much from the anecdotal, we're all going to get together and we have tribal lore and transfer of knowledge, but rather, how are these companies actually doing with regard to their business performance? And I think this is a really important metric where we move away from anecdotal discussions to data-driven discussions about what are the real impacts from work at home versus return to office, and what does that really mean to the employee base, employee satisfaction, churn, cost, customer delivery, etc. Again, obviously I come at this with somewhat of a strong bias myself. I'm a big believer in the work from home, distributed employee model, and I've been working with it actually since the late 80s and early 90s when I had a technical support team working for me where their ability to do their job from home was equal to what they needed to do in the office, and they enjoyed and recognized the value of that opportunity to them, both financially and to stress. Since then, we've kind of taken that to a very significant level. Back in early 2000s, we were one of the first companies to actually have 100% work at home in the business process outsourcing area, where we were leveraging team members working from home in the Philippines with early phase cloud-based applications that was really created a unique opportunity for us to hire people that were already trained, people regardless of their location and their ability to do the work rather than where they happen to be. So I just don't want to browbeat this whole conversation, but I don't think we've finished with the learning yet. I think a lot of us realize that something that was so ingrained in our knowledge that, oh, you've got to go to the office to work, was something that is generational. And then suddenly for 3 years, we learned that you don't have to go to the office to do not every work, but a lot of work, particularly knowledge-based work. And as a result, I think you've got a lot of people who are just going to say, that's no longer was a nice thing for me, but is most critical thing for me in the way I think about my work. And when I get together with my coworkers, I want to do it in a way that's structured and drives communication and value. So again, I think it's important that we start looking at this from a data perspective rather than an anecdotal perspective. I recognize the impacts on the economy as a whole are quite significant, but we also need to look at this evolution of the way people work, the way people live, and what they expect from things. So I think society will follow on. This is definitely a bump in the road for many of us, but I do think it is a change, and I think it's probably one of the largest changes that came out of the giant social experiment that was the COVID pandemic. Again, this is Tim Keefe with Transform CX. Thanks for listening.